Hello. Welcome back. I am tired, but today is a new episode of Negro Jump. Today's date is March the 19th? No, 17th.
It is March the 17th.
I am off by 2 days. Yeah. 2 whole days.
It's a special day, man.
March 17th. Yeah. What happened today?
Well, it rained today for one.
Okay. All right.
I did laundry today.
All right. Productive.
You know, watched some animes, hung out.
I haven't watched.
You haven't watched much lately?
No, I just been going to sleep to Yu Yu Hakusho. Still, it's definitely my top 3 of all time.
Honan, you're on what? 4-peat now? Watching what?
No, now I'm just watching episodes.
Oh, okay. Now
I'm just like, I want to watch that again. Like that's it. I'm just picking like One Piece, just picking memories out. I did a TikTok stitch. It's like, what's your favorite Yu Yu moment? And it was first one that came to mind is when he goes into the cave to train with Genkai after she tells him, all right, for this next lesson, for your final lesson that I have to teach you, and for order for you to be Toguro, for you to get that power, you're going to have to kill me. And then she just walks away from him into a dark cave. It's raining. Like lightning struck, like falling down. He's all confused. He was like, yo, you just blew up a mountain, but you telling me you still can't beat him, but then like it's up to me, so you telling me I gotta kill him. Whole moment, right? Whole moment. They even do like a commercial break with the whole chibi heads and have you all feeling good for the next 8 minutes, and then come back and this nigga's just staring there in a beater and sweatpants. just soaking wet. Feeling like, I don't want to do this. And then he goes in there and just spills from the heart. Like, if this is what I got to do, then it's not worth it. We'll figure out another way to beat him. Like, I'm fine. Just, like, brushes it off. She tells him, like, you know, when you speak from the heart, you actually got a lot to say. He's like, what are you talking about? And it's, like, one of those, like, life lessons of him being pissed. Was like, why the fuck couldn't you just say that in the beginning? Got me feeling stuff.
Yeah.
Whatnot. Like, my life is on the line here. Over here playing with people's emotions and shit. I'm like, yup, that's my grandmother. Yup. Yeah. That sure is.
Listen, they've been around longer. They know what's up.
But they know what's up. Hey, they ain't got to do that though. Like, come on. Like, I understand you was 16 before.
But what they went through, this is light work.
But
they got to do a little mental terrorism to get you.
But also, Miss, when you were in the dark tournament, you were at your peak, single, no kids, no spouse, fighting with your best friend partner who you thought you were in love with. Nigga, I got my girlfriend here and my spirit animal. I don't got time for this. I got a job. My mom's smoking cigarettes at home right now as we speak. And I gotta fight more and more demons. So, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Where'd you first watch your favorite? What I'm assuming is your favorite. I don't know. It's probably tied with One Piece, right?
I can't even tie it with One Piece.
Oh, okay.
I like it for 2 different reasons. First time I say it was on Adult Swim.
Adult Swim?
With the swimming pool. That was and it was... Very first episode is when they were fighting, I think it was a Genki. When they were fighting the Saint Beast.
Right.
The stone one, the very first one. So this is the very first time I'm seeing this show. So first of all, intro comes on, I'm like, yo, this shit fire. This shit hard. They get started. You see 4 teenagers. 3 of them got different color uniforms on. And then the 4th one, some short dude just got like a robe.
Got a little trench coat on. He rocking the
it's like
kind of like the Matrix vibe.
It's like a poncho with sleeves, but there was no buttons. He was just take it, and then it was like a scarf underneath. It was different. He never wore a shirt underneath. Yeah, and he always had a blade on him. Yeah. Anyway, so there's 4 of them there, and they pull up, and it's like, all right, who we fighting? They open this big doors in a big dungeon room. And then this rock golem comes out. And then the prettiest one out of all 4 of them is like, I'll take care of this. I'm like, what the fuck is he going to do? Pulls out a whip and like, sold. Done. So the previews for the next episode, I'm like, oh, this nigga with the pompadour got a sword? I'm sold. Let's go. Didn't even see Yusuke like fire the trigger, like not even once. And I was already sold on like...
it's funny you thinking about it. That's probably where a lot of people started doing it or like started watching it. And there's so many different fights that it's like you probably didn't start with. Like same thing. I actually started with, I think it was Kuwabara's fight.
Because even when they would debut a show, a lot of times they wouldn't even start with the first episode. They would just try it. But also, I'm finding out now, a lot of people, first time they seen Yu Yu Hakusho was on Toonami.
Right.
which I didn't know they. Well, one, I was stunned that they even put it up there, and when they did put it on Toonami, it was the Chapter Black season, the arc, whatever, season 3, which is pretty heavy to put that like primetime Cartoon Network.
Well, and I'll say the reason why that they did that is because I think that was maybe it was a little bit into Toonami's run, and they got a lot of they figured out the kinks along the way, which is kind of like the theme of the episode. It is.
But how many dams can you replace with a darn it or something?
And that's you'll see why. You'll see why they got away with it. You'll see why, because it's their 25th anniversary, March 17th, 1997. They aired Toonami for the first time. As just like this block between 4 and 6, just out of school, and it was supposed to just be, I don't even want to say just grittier cartoons. It was just more stylized. It was just something different. It
something new on the eyes, because all you had was Hanna-Barbera on Cartoon Network.
Exactly.
That was it.
Exactly. And you had cartoons. You had all these other, like these crazy weird little blocks.
And all of that was slow rolling in. Like Powerpuff Girls started on Cartoon. Mm-hmm. It's a handful. I think Billy and Mandy started on Cartoon.
Yeah. Cow and Chicken was Cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like them trying to do more.
And then Cow and Chicken had like 2 spin-off shows. Yeah. No, it had one. I Am Weasel. Yeah. Jesus, man, that was a weird ass show.
So they had a interesting like block of television.
Everybody had cheeks out.
Yeah, everybody did have cheeks out
for no reason.
Yeah, they ate pork butts. They ate ass.
Remember that? Oh, they from Jersey.
Yeah, they ate pork butts. Yeah, damn. Chicken did like, stupid. What you doing? Stupid.
Oh yeah, he was like Latino.
Yeah,
not even like heavy Latino. It was it was very like New York. What you doing, man?
What you doing?
Yeah, and then Cal was like the ever worrying little big sister.
You're right. Garden State, Cow Country. Come on.
Mom and Dad. And then they had the what was it, the biker gang, the Carpet Munchers. Yeah. Oh no, they'll tear up the carpet.
And then they walk in and literally just like ripping it up, getting caught in their teeth.
So it all makes sense now, because Cartoon Network, they definitely just let the writers like, just go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. We were showing Fred Flintstone assaulting somebody with a weapon.
Yeah, I remember that. They were doing their like little remixes to episodes.
Just go right ahead.
He would get mad at the camera and start pushing people out the way. Barney would lose his shit. He was like, I'm done with this. Get me out of here.
Be like, what are my lines? Yeah.
What are my lines?
Or, yeah, they would try to like reintroduce some characters like Huckberry.
Yeah.
Huckleberry Hound and Hanna-Barbera.
I don't think that like the cable networks knew what was going on. Like, just a bunch of cartoons over there.
No, they didn't. The same thing happened with G4. Somebody had some money and had the chance to own a channel.
Yeah.
And was like, all right, what can we do original programming? And then he didn't know what the fuck to do.
Because, I mean, you turn on, you think you're seeing Droopy, and they're like, all right, yeah, whatever. They got Hanna-Barbera stuff, maybe some Johnny Bravo. That's probably the worst. It would just slowly roll out, be like Scooby-Doo, and like Droopy, Tom and Jerry, and then it's like, Tom and Jerry Kids. I'm like, this is more my speed. Yeah. And then there's a pup named Scooby-Doo, which I found out that came out in the 80s. I'm like, well, this is... Same, I thought that was for us. Right. I thought that was our joint. Yeah. Right? It looked crisp.
Right? Then,
comparatively.
Then Johnny Bravo. Mm-hmm. And then Dexter slow rolled in. And then they would try like the reboots, the new Johnny Quest Adventures. Mm-hmm. Flintstones, I forgot when they would show those, like middle of the day, afternoon.
Like midday, early in the morning. They had like, because they didn't do like Nick Jr. They just did like their old stuff early. And
this is pre-Boomerang.
Yeah, because then they decided to put everything on Boomerang later.
It's like, we can't just throw all of this away. We gotta do something.
Yeah, we gotta put the classics up.
Skirt. And now Boomerang is showing Ben 10. That's crazy. That's wild.
Full circle.
That's wild.
But they were going for a while. I can't remember
25th
actually.
anniversary. Goddamn.
Yeah, 25 years of Toonami. It started in March 17th, 1997. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know what was going on before, but then they just decided to drop this thing, and I think at the time, I can't remember, they didn't. I don't think they had Tom just yet.
No, it was Motar.
Moltar, yeah. And then they would show these like really weird CGI turbine looking things. They would look like satellites, and that was
It
just
looked like a virtual DJ show on MTV or something.
It was direct effect. It was a direct effect.
It was definitely that feel they were giving you.
Like old Sway interview background when he was on MTV News.
Let me put you on something real quick.
Yeah.
Everybody liked to play with that static effect back in the 90s.
Yeah, because when we first got graphics, and we were like, we can make graphics do stuff.
Moltar was 3D.
Yeah.
He was completely 3D.
Yeah. So, and they had these little weird caveats where they would do stuff. Every April Fool's Day, they would actually do something weird as well. So, like, one April Fool's Day, they did, like, nothing but some Screwy Squirrel show, and they did a bunch of other stuff. But
Squirrel.
Screwy Squirrel Day, and a bunch of other stuff.
Not Secret Squirrel?
Screwy Squirrel. I don't even know what that was. Yeah, I have no idea. But the first lineup in March 17th started off at 4 with Thundercats. Then it was Cartoon Roulette. So at the time, they would do Cartoon Roulette, which would be just a random Hanna-Barbera cartoon. So you didn't know what you were going to get, but it was just going to be a random cartoon. Then they kicked it off with Voltron at 4:45.
All right, so their audience around this time was the early 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
Who grew up in the 70s.
Grew up in the 70s. You had Thundercats, which wasn't technically an anime, but it was so... Of the American, like... cartoon assembly shows, because it was very...
It probably got animated in Japan. That's probably why. Because it fit right in with the G.I. Joes, the Transformers, the Voltrons.
It looked slightly more crisp. Like, seeing Lionel, like, do his...
Nobody ever seen an anamorphic lion guy.
All of them had weapons. It was all doing stuff. Like
different felines. You had a panther, you had a lion, lioness, 2 cubs.
Like a jaguar girl or something like that?
Excuse me, Lioness was the cheetah.
Chitara or whatever. No, what's her name? Yeah.
Yeah, Chitara.
Chitara, yeah.
And then who was the dude with the
bald guy?
No, that's Panther.
The brother?
That's Panthro. Yeah. No, he had this guy had the whip. He had like a blue.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Damn, I can't remember his name. But yeah, it was like different felines. And they fought Mum-Ra. And then like randomly like, oh, Safari Joe or this villain is it was definitely different. I still had his tape of we're gonna figure out. I'm gonna end up buying a VCR combo of some kind of it's a Saturday morning block my cousin did in like 88.
Ooh,
88, 80.
My sister did that too, and I got it. Yeah, commercials, everything.
I'm like, wait, Applejack's always had green and orange.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, didn't they just have the? No,
Lucky Charms only had 3 charms. What? Blow pops. Y'all had this back then?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Baby bottle pops. That's the one that was weird.
It's like, nah, this new.
It's new. It's like we sucking on titties.
Yeah, nah, that was too much. I'm like, wait, I gotta dip it? Nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, you turn around.
Even a ring pop was a bit much for me. I was like, I don't want to hold this on my hand.
I got a push pop once recently because it was Halloween last year, and somehow there was just like a push pop in the bag. And I was just like, this shit is unsanitary. Like, it's a lollipop and you put it in a capsule and then it's just like, you trusted me with this at 6 to not get sand in it?
But then also, too, that's why they probably gave you a cap with the little pen stem.
With the pen stem, yeah.
But also, too, it's like, let somebody mishandle your push pop and it's just shattered. And so now you
you got a Jolly Rancher now.
You gotta eat all.
You gotta eat it.
You just tear up all the roof of your mouth and inside of your lips and shit. Yeah, dangerous ass food they would give us. Man. Damn.
But so it was these were short.
Mills.
Shout out General Mills giving us I swear to God, in the next building is where they had the toothpaste. It was like, we gonna give you the cavities and cure the cavities all in the same.
Come on, Seagram's make ginger ale and gin. Come on. The same spot.
They had a curse and a cure.
Come
That's
on,
crazy.
Same spot. Come on.
And then they followed up with another Cartoon Roulette. And then they closed it off with Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, the new Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
So obviously they were going for a action Saturday morning vibe.
They wanted Saturday morning, but midday. It seems to be, instead of you having to wait till Saturday, after school, you get that excitement a little bit.
Did they not do afternoon blocks until like the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, at least for cartoons, because obviously there was TGIF and there was all the prime time for like live action sitcoms.
It was peak like
the idea for
80s
kids
stuff,
to be like, I want to stay up till 7 and 8 to watch this show premiere
for a dedicated block on multiple channels for kids.
For kids, yeah.
Because Nickelodeon was still a thing, and I was like, no, it's all kids.
It's all kids, yeah. And then Nick ended up with that like TRL style show that they did for a bit. I can't remember what it was called.
What?
Yeah, it was like it was almost like Slime Nation or something like that. It was like Slime.
What?
Yeah, they did like a TRL.
Yo,
type joint.
Nickelodeon was wild.
They was doing it. They always had a live action element, and that's why like they was like different for it. And then it kind of went around the same until around January of '98. So it was this. Yeah, the schedule existed from March 17th, 1997 to January. So for a whole year, they were in the rough. They had a whole year of like, listen, like we don't got the content, but this is what we're trying to do. Starting March of '98, they did the similar thing. They did Thundercats, the Roulettes, Johnny Quest, but then they added Robotech. Which I've shown you about. It's a mecha style mixed with. I
bet that threw everybody off.
Yeah.
Seeing this, like this isn't Voltron.
Yeah.
This isn't GI Joe.
This ain't GI, but it's like Voltron and GI Joe mixed because it's like it's Air Force soldiers, but the jets turn into robots. So it's like, wait, what? Like,
right? It's
kind of like Transformers, but there's a dude inside and there's a bunch of them, and they're fighting like this giant nigga who's like green and like. He's on a ship. It's kind of like Gundam, but we weren't ready for Gundam yet. So, because that's coming, but we weren't ready for it. So it's like, all right, like, how about this? So what I'm noticing is like they just keep like, how about this? Like, does this work? All right. So we got 2 robot shows. On March 9th, they did a special to promote Beast Wars. So they replaced Johnny Quest with Beast Wars for like a very brief time, randomly, like. I didn't even know Cartoon Network did Beast Wars.
Well, again, it's the whole selling point because you remember that brief time when Toonami had a block on Kids WB? Yeah. And they showed Dragon Ball Z once. It was heavily advertised that I was about to get some DBZ like reruns. Yeah. On basic television, and I was like, excited. I'm good. Excited. First episode, Piccolo and Goku fighting Raditz. I'm like, perfect. Next week, whoa, what are you talking about? We never said Dragon Ball Z. No more commercials. They cut it all out.
This man arm gone.
It was like cubics. You got cubics.
Yeah. They were trying to find a place. I think Cartoon Network was just shopping around. Whoever it was who created I didn't go that deep into like who set up the block, but they were really trying to like get something different over here and get these things. They were shooting it, trying to figure it out for a while until summer of '98, June. They dropped one of the shows that would continue to be on there for the eternity of the run. And you know what that show is? Because I was wrong. Do you know what that show is? No. Everybody would have thought it was Dragon Ball Z. It was actually Sailor Moon.
They dropped
Sailor Moon, or they put on Sailor Moon. Oh, so Sailor Moon came on before Z.
I seen Sailor Moon before, like on regular like early mornings. Like
interesting drop for me because I just knew that they came together or they were always on the same block. But she kind of started it because she was like, "This is straight up anime, like true, tried and true." It's magical girl, but you also got the squad. You got weapons. You got fights. You got
slender people. Yeah, big eyes. Big faces. Yeah. Everybody got a unique hairstyle. Signature moves. Mm-hmm. They perform every time the same way. Yeah. And they're fighting demons.
So with that lineup, they condensed everything. They're like Sailor Moon, Robotech, Voltron. We're doing all anime now. Fuck all this extra stuff. But then close it out always with Johnny Quest because...
Was it original Johnny Quest or the New Adventures of Johnny Quest?
It's the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
There we go. Because that one... was very different. I'm like, this show seems a little bit much for me. It's not giving me a thing. Because I think that was my first introduction to Johnny Quest.
Yeah, it's not the old one. It's like the
because they would go 3D randomly.
Yeah, the middle one. I remember there was like the episode I remember seeing. It was like it was almost like a carbon copy of a Indiana Jones episode, but then the one following it, and this was those things that it was recorded on a VHS. I would rewatch. The next episode was like the secret of the Moai, and it was like, are there aliens and like fucking monkeys out at the same time? I was like, I want to see that episode, but I never got to see it. Never seen it. I'll never see it.
What was up with Johnny Quest? So it was a because I only know. I remember that, but like the plot line, because I watched Venture Brothers, which was pretty much just a spoof joke of Johnny Quest. They even had him make a cameo, but I don't think they called him Johnny Quest. Yeah. He was just some washed up old guy that still had his hair. Still had like his blonde, like young hair. And I mean, it was the same thing of, all right, rich scientist dad, son that's adventurous, bodyguard.
He's like he's indie junior, kid indie.
Kind of.
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard was pretty much indie, but he was just all muscles and brawn. And then you had the adopted kid, Haji.
Sim Salabim.
Didn't know that.
That's the boy.
Didn't know that.
That's the boy, yeah. Mm-hmm. Fast forward a little bit more to August. We're not going to get to all of these because they've done so many funny, quirky things.
Keep going. Go through
it. So then we hit August, and then we introduced, so with the 2 months of groundwork Sailor Moon did, they finally got Z on there, and then now we're kind of off the races. So it was Sailor Moon, Thundercats, Dragon Ball Z, Johnny Quest. Right. And now it just gets wild.
At what time did that start?
4:00.
Jesus Christ.
4:00.
Jesus, man.
Now it gets nuts. With there's some minor stuff, but then what happens is you are seeing Z just lockjaw hook all the kids, because now we're doing double blocks of Z. So we got Sailor Moon, Thundercats, Z. Then we got Sailor Moon, Thundercats, Z, Johnny Quest.
And this is Dragon Ball Z with the OG intro. Dragon. Yeah.
Bump the dragon. Yeah.
Hyped every time. You see Raditz just like walk through a plane. He like, nigga, what? He just like his whole body just goes to like a plane wing and it just explodes. I'm like, yo, what is this? Yeah.
And then the bumpers, like right now, all over Adult Swim's
shit spinning around. IG. Goku catching the
bumpers. They hyped you up for it. It'll work. You don't understand. And it's like his power has gone beyond. Yeah. And it's just like nuts. Yeah, everything's going crazy.
That was.
And they're rocking it out. So now we're in '99. It's the same thing, Sailor Moon. But then it would always Sailor Moon Z. But then they would like add something in. Then they did a couple runs of Reboot. Reboot was in there for a little. Reboot.
Talk about a dark ass show.
Yeah.
I would have got like I think 2 or 3 seasons, and I think the last season was like the kid from the first one.
Yeah.
Either he disappeared completely, or he got to work with himself from the future, which he was like. They got a nigga facial hair. Yeah. He was like gritty. He's like, I done been through some stuff. Like it was, I'm like, that was another show. I'm like, all right, is this show for me?
Yeah. Because they're trying to kill Megabyte and like they live in mainframe.
It's computer programs playing the game. It's simple. Yeah. But every time the villain's on the screen, I'm very nervous.
Yeah. If you watch this show, it's kind of like, you ever see like in Futurama where they do Hypnotoad? People's eyes kind of move independently. And I don't know if that was like the animator's fault or they just wanted people to be like some creepypasta shit. Like it was just very weird.
They wanted you to get as close you could to that line of like epilepsy, like seizure. Yeah. It's like, all right.
How many graphics? The floor was checkerboard. Like the whole ground was checkerboard.
It was every color on the spectrum.
I
mean, that's when they were really pushing it because this is the same time around Beast Wars. And Beast Wars was on 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah. So they're like, we gotta step our graphical.
That like 95 to 2004, 3D animation, it was pushing it so hard. Yeah. I'm curious what this. I never heard of it. It just popped in my head. 3D animated Scooby Doo show that probably definitely got scrapped back then.
Oh, absolutely. They first of all they gave yeeks to everybody on accident.
What you mean?
The animator, like for Velma and Daphne, 3D hips for them. They probably got fired instantly on the spot.
Well, I mean,
like we can't do it.
Velma was already all right in the cartoon,
right?
Well, I'm like,
and you add a dimension to that. Come on, that'd have messed everybody up. Everybody would have messed up.
Like, damn, I didn't know you was
Jenkins.
I didn't know you was built like that.
Yeah.
God Damn.
Yeah. No, I just imagine like somebody walking past the office and him animating her falling to pick up the glasses scene.
Like, whoa, Frank, what are you doing, man? I gotta get HR involved. Like, this nigga, matter of fact, no, he'll see it and then walk past it and like just be shaking his head in the lunchroom. They're like, "What's wrong?" She was like, "Fucking Frank, man. I don't know what he working on, but goddamn."
Be a mass email the next day.
I'd be like, "Yeah, we're scrapping the Scooby Doo project. It's too weird.
do this, misedit."
It's just too weird." Yeah.
So now this show has been on 2 years. And this, when I saw this, Toonami.
Toonami,
the block,
2 years.
The block has been on 2 years. This is where I started to realize how much pull this show had. So May 23rd of 1999, for the lunar eclipse, they took 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and did nothing but Sailor Moon in celebration of the lunar eclipse. That's how much pull Toonami had. They stole an entire day of television to play.
Same guys that worked on Toonami brought us Adult Swim, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So these guys were in. They were in with Cartoon Network
because they already had their Adult Swim block sort of set up, but it was weird.
So they were already in the building, working on them, and from what I understand, they were both already like anime fans before they even started Toonami.
That's what it seemed to be. Yeah.
And then so they go to the heads. They pitched this idea to him. And so it's like, all right, you got access to all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Because, like, they could have showed...
Because they were doing Space Ghost and Bracket.
Space Ghost, Birdman. I almost said Harvey Birdman.
Birdman, yeah.
Was it the Thunderoids?
Herculoids.
Herculoids.
Yes.
So, like those, like, action...
And they would just do dubbings and like make it weird and like make it darker and stuff like that. Like at least when they did Adult Swim. So like after they got
Adult Swim was just a whole comedy.
Yeah.
Because like I clearly remember like I remember Space Ghost, but what the fuck is this? Yeah. Like what is this show?
So that was such a big move. They were just like, all right, boom. They followed up the next week with they called it DBZ20XL lineup. It was 4 days, all 4 blocks were DBZ. From 4 to 6. So this is where the addiction came from. This is why everybody is either Sailor Moon or
because they
Z.
knew. So you told me when DBZ, once Sailor Moon came on, DBZ became the third one.
Yeah.
And by that time, it's what 5:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll do a little quick rewind to Patty. It was like 5 o'clock. Everybody in the house.
Everybody in the house.
And then 6 o'clock you come out and you talk about it. Yeah, they looking at them numbers. It was like, all right, so we had every kid in America.
They called it DBZ20XL.
They knew what they were doing.
That's hard.
They knew what they were doing.
So for 4 days.
That's all they wanted to watch.
Z. Right? Then, after that was done, on the 29th, they did, to end DBZ20XL, they played all the movies for DBZ. So at 12 p.m., Dragon Ball Z Tree of Might. 1:15, some Powerpuff Girls, just to break it up. After that, World's Strongest.
That's a weird break on our
eyes. Yeah. Wait, but think about it though. They were already flying around. They just wanted to keep the aesthetic of niggas flying around punching
people. But the Tree of Might there was no sunlight in that whole movie. They were in the valley.
It's noon.
They were in the valley.
You can't curse kids like this.
Turles came
Break it
down.
up. We need some colors.
The guy looks just like Goku, but he has a skin tone slightly darker, armor darker.
Dark red auburn colors. The tree is bleeding and has
kidnaps
dust.
Gohan and all this.
There's fangs. Everybody's got fangs. Listen.
And then you go to Powerpuff Girls of just 2 hyperactive. Yeah. No, excuse me, 3 hyperactive.
Gotta go to Townsville. Gotta break this up.
And then you just seduce. Yeah, you had kids all fucked up. Yeah.
1:30, World's Strongest. That is Dragon Ball Z World's Strongest. I think that's
Dr. Gero. He returns.
Yeah. Then after that, another quick break of Powerpuff Girls. Ended it with 3 p.m. Dead Zone. It's Return of Garlic. Yeah.
That's with Gohan, right?
That's with Gohan, yeah.
That was probably the most intense Dragon Ball Z thing I've seen as a kid. I'm like, oh wait, Goku's not gonna show up?
He's not here?
You're not showing?
He's not, yeah.
There's no Snake Way. There's no Dragon Balls.
Nothing.
So y'all 2 in the suit.
Gohan and Unk.
And Krillin was there too.
Oh yeah, Krillin was there.
Krillin and Gohan were there in dress pants and white beaters with dress shoes on. And then Piccolo was like, all right, we gonna make this work.
Yeah.
Because nobody else showing up. Nobody else is coming. Nobody. Ain't no Tien, ain't no Yamcha.
No.
Roshi.
No.
Forget about it. Nigga, it's just us. We gotta stop this nigga right now.
Right now. Kami's place is all fucked up.
Matter of fact, no, Kami was in the dead zone.
Yeah. They swapped it out. They swapped him out.
He was trying to drop the sacred water or something. He was trying to put something in the dead zone to close the portal.
To keep it from opening up, because I think he had one of his jobs was to constantly, like every 5,000 years, some shit like that. He was supposed
reopen or something.
He was supposed to do something, and then like his homie snatched him. I think or like the people who was working for him, whatever. They
it's probably like a spice or some shit.
Some spice, yeah.
Ginger.
Ginger, yeah. And then after that, it was just kind of like this is like what's gonna happen. Paprika. Yeah, I think there was a paprika. No, you're absolutely right. There is a paprika.
Garlic paprika.
There's garlic paprika. I think there was a cinnamon or something like that.
Oh, don't say that's all I gave you for us. Yeah, for real.
Then regular programming. There was some reboot. Yada yada. September 13th, Z Day. Let's see. On September 13th, Dragon Ball Z took over Toonami for the day. Marathon of Z titles meant to celebrate the new episode of the return of new episodes. So I guess they were like doing some slight reruns until they could release more episodes. And then they did that in '99 or September. The same until September 27th. They finally got rid of Johnny Quest, and the 5:30 spot was Ronin Warriors.
Woo!
Yeah.
Talking about another show, no sunlight.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Unless they just happen to
have
the day off. They
fought in the streets, raining every episode. Every episode. It was
first episode starts off castle showing up. Japan going crazy. Big earthquake. Yeah. Demons, demon henchmen in armor shows up. People going underground out of nowhere. Big white Siberian tiger come out of nowhere. Started swiping people. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Then the main guy shows up, and he's in regular clothes with 5 other teenage pretty boys. Right? And then they armor up once.
Yeah.
They armor up once, light armor. Just to kind of fisticuffs. And then...
Do you remember the toys? Where you had the spring-loaded...
Yes. Never seen a toy like that before. Had weight and durability where it had joints. All the joints had springs in it.
So you could do a snap motion.
Snap, rotate, snap on armor piece. So many accessories. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
As soon as I got it, it was gone. All pieces.
Yeah. I remember, I think I had the green or the blue one, and I was just like, I lost the
Because I had the blue one, and you literally had to build the trident. And I was like, this is gone. Yeah. This is gone. This is gone. I had the wildfire. I had the red one. Mm-hmm. I had the white one, which was the super armor when they all put their powers into one on some Captain Planet shit. And then...
Right.
And then the blue one, which was the ocean.
And then there was like a random tiger there still.
So it was a red.
Who had the tiger?
The red guy.
The red guy had the tiger.
Yeah. So it was the red guy with the double with the 2 katanas. Yeah. There was a dude, green armor.
He had a halberd. He had like an axe halberd thing, right?
Nah, he just had like a long katana, like a long sword.
Oh yeah, right.
Blue guy had a bow and arrow. The Navy guy had bow and arrow.
Somebody who had the trident?
The blue guy, because he was water. Yeah. And then the orange guy, I forgot what he had.
Yeah.
I forgot. It was some type of blunt. I don't want to say it was
maybe an axe? No. Did he have an axe? Somebody had to have an axe on the show. Something different. I thought somebody had an axe.
I think one of the evil guys had an axe.
Oh, okay.
One of the Anubis had the scythe and chain.
Yeah.
And it was like two other guys.
Everybody was dirty.
Because that one was definitely inspired by Saint Seiya, which I ain't discovered until much later.
Yeah. I actually, it's weird because I used to interchange the two for a very long time until I didn't realize what I was watching. Like I was like, because not that I'd maybe seen Saint Seiya around that time. I was just like, every time I would see a DVD, because you go to PAX on the Suncoast. And you would just like walk down the anime aisle and be like, oh, that's Ronin Warriors, what I'm watching on TV. And I was like, oh, that must just be what it's called for the movie. I didn't know that was a different. Yeah.
This isn't Ronin Warriors. Nigga, he drawing out constellations with his fist before he punch you. That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
You just see a nigga do. He's like, what is he doing? He's like, I'm drawing out the Pegasus console. Like, this nigga different.
Yeah.
And then he just cock it back and just start charging at you. Throw 100 punches and then goes back. Yeah. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that show was different. It was Zodiac Nights when it came to Adult Swim.
That's what
it was. Zodiac Nights. Yeah.
I
had got a DVD of that in a New Type magazine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was.
I remember getting little DVDs. I know we got, but that was like the shit. That was better than like a prize in a box of cereal. It was just like
you gave me 4 episodes of something I've never seen before.
Yeah,
it was Saint Seiya.
And if they were smart, they tucked it and didn't put it on the outside plastic, because niggas would try to take that out of Walmart.
And I think it would be like fine print, be like DVD inside, like very small with an asterisk. Be like DVD inside. God damn these allergies.
Yeah.
But then it was like what Saint Seiya, 12 Kingdoms, and Pre-Tier. And Precure? It was like 4 of them up there.
On the disc?
On the disc, like full episode, like shonen, adventure, kind of like an isekai. That's what 12 Kingdoms was.
Okay.
Figure 12 was like sci-fi. It was like an alien came down and then like inhabited this girl's body in order to fight, type thing, to fight other aliens, but it was like a kid. And then Pre-Tier was magical girl, but she had like guardians around her that she would combine with, and then now it's like a new power and things like that. So yeah,
a lot of combination.
It was so much variety that I was like, yeah, I could watch all of this again another afternoon.
Yeah, and I guess that's what they were going for, because that worked from September 27, 1999 all the way to February of 2020. So that was the lineup for a minute. We had Sailor Moon Reboot, Z, Ronin Warriors. Just solid. Did something weird. They had so much pull. They just did random stuff. And on February 21st, just for President's Day, they did the DBZ President's Day movie marathon. What? So again, you get World's Strongest, Tree of Might, Dead Zone.
I mean, would you rather that or pizza? Like your job would do you.
Right.
Like,
it's just the flex of like, yeah, whatever. We got Bush in office. Why not? Let's run it.
It's like, all right, so celebrate President's Day.
Yeah.
Just what are we doing for President's Day?
Yeah.
Like the other Dragon Ball Z marathon. The new movies? Nope. Same 3 from 3 months ago.
And now it all stays the same until March 6th. And I feel like I watched this lineup. I feel like almost like I reached a core memory, because my birthday is early March. So this was the March 6th lineup, and in it they put Sailor Moon. Ronin Warriors got bumped up to 4:30, so solid, but it's bumped up. Z always had 5. Z had 5 or 5:30 regardless. 5. Close it out, Gundam Wing, 5:30. And I think I watched that first episode.
Yeah, they different for that one. How you go The Boys?
Yeah.
The Boys hanging out.
No, girls. Sailor Moon first.
So
Sailor Moon broke us over.
So how you go from the girls to the boys to the men to terrorists,
child soldiers,
emotionless terrorists. What was it like? Episode 3 or 4?
But it's robots.
No, it wasn't.
But they got swords.
Nah, nigga, nah. Because first of all, I'm thinking like, oh, they all work together. No, they don't.
But they in space having fun.
I think the first battle that sticks out to me is Hero and I think Duo. He had the heavy arms. They were fighting people and then fighting each other. And then Hero, this nigga, I still remember why, but he just self-destructs right there standing in the cockpit.
Yeah. Ready for dinner?
It's like, this dude's a kid, like, yeah, and then he's like talking to a girl, no emotion, just doesn't care, like, straight up terrorist.
Yeah.
Space Colony X. I'm like, what is going on? Why I feel like I'm watching Star Trek now?
So, yeah, they opened it up, and now I actually really didn't realize how much Toonami took over Cartoon Network in general on just any day. Like, any day they wanted to do it, Cartoon Network was like, yeah, fine. Like, you get the floor. I know we got Cow and Chicken. I know we got Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, because by that point, their lineup, there wasn't much there. They had their established, faces, but it was, 5?
Yeah.
And then they would have cartoon, just giving somebody a shot. Like, Courage and Cowardly. Like, they
gave Courage.
They kept doing that until they built it up.
I guess maybe it seems.
What is this, 98, 99?
Now we're at 2000.
2000. So we got Dexter.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. Samurai Jack, maybe?
Maybe Samurai Jack. Maybe Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Ed and Eddie, I think for sure.
Johnny Bravo.
Bravo.
Maybe Billy and Mandy.
Maybe. It's like within a year, possibly.
Because this is right before they were doing Cartoon Fridays.
Because just like, then, let's run it. Yeah, when they, I think Toonami gave them enough cred to where they're like, all right, we can maybe make it more balanced. Because then you got your like Fairly Odd Parents and your Flapjacks and like all these like fun, like these crazy. And then they got the Chowder, the Chowder era. So yeah, it's just like yeah, so like maybe
just got weird.
Yeah, they got crazy.
It's like they got all the. It was like let me get the Toonami writers, the Adult Swim guys, and get all y'all in one room. Like we need 5 new.
Let's hash it out.
Like all right, here's Chowder.
Something for little kids though, like kind of like let's get back to the animation. I know these.
Flapjack
was that shit was a fever dream.
Knuckles.
They did.
Knuckles, you take my baby with you.
They lived in a whale.
What was her name?
I can't remember her name, but she was married to Knuckles, right? That was his wife, right?
No, it wasn't. Oh, because she didn't like she
Knuckles
was a bum.
No, no, she liked Chowder. That's what it was. Not Chowder. She liked Flapjack. She
took after Flapjack, but then Knuckles was just there for the ride. You remember that episode where you found out his whole body was just parts from other people that he stole?
I feel like I remember that.
He was just left with like
repressed it because I was probably going through some at the time.
That shit was weird, man.
They would do this thing called Toonami Full Cycle. If you remember, they would just take over the show take over Cartoon Network for the day.
By this point, it's time.
It's over. It's just so they would start.
Time with the gut too.
They would start with like Super Friends to start at 6 a.m.
Ooh.
Then Thundercats at 9.
Ooh.
Then 10 a.m. Dragon Ball Z.
Who's showing that at 10 a.m.? Oh yeah, you about to have somebody skip school.
10:30, 11. Gundam Wing. So we already got kids learning.
Ain't in the afternoon yet.
There's no way we were in school this day. I don't care what anybody say. We can check 9th, the log. April 8th, 2000. 8 and 9th. 8 and 9th. Because it was a whole 24 hours. So we start with Super Friends, then Thundercats in the morning. You eating cereal. Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, Ronin Warriors at 11:30. Then back to Thundercats. A 1:30 Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero movie.
All right, now here's the thing about that Batman animated series.
Yeah.
Love the show, but I understood it's very noir, detective-y, like it's a lot of things. Mm-hmm. It's just flying over my head right now. Which it's like I like that more than the Spider-Man animated cartoon.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it. Like the episode where the nigga went blind.
I watched episode to episode. Yeah, I don't even remember that.
It was Bruce. They were at some type of like flight exhibition, some type of hangar where they were showing off old like carriers and stuff.
Yeah.
Some explosion went off. This nigga's eyes was open. Alfred rushes him in the car and he was like, "Alfred, don't tell anybody." He was like, "What, Mr. Brain?" He was like, "Mr. Wayne." He's like, "I can't." Like they zoomed on his face. I can't see. And then he had to build him a visor.
Yeah.
This nigga was seeing the infrared until his sight came back. So like he's like beating people up, and I think he had to fight Bane or somebody. With like he had a whole receiver like wire plugged up to a utility belt, ripped it out, and then now this nigga just fighting blind. It was that was
the actual Bat episode.
And then you show Mr. Freeze. Yeah, and
that movie it was like a special episode that they turned because I remember it was a DVD, and I remember seeing the preview on the. Like you buy a movie and they had previews on the VHS.
Quality of that show was phenomenal. Jesus Christ.
It was nuts. It was just like you would see him just get like encapsulated in like a thing, and it was like, I was like, how is this that well animated? This is dope. But what is it? The episode where he fights Two-Face? And it's like noir, and they like turn the screen to the side while he's walking down the hallway, and he steps in the room. Half of Two-Face's house is like a fun house. The other half, it looks like a nightclub where like cocaine is dealt. Like it's a crazy. Anyway, I don't know. They didn't know. They had no right putting that on at 1:00. That's all I'm saying.
Well, after you have a successful block of Sailor Moon, Ronin Warriors, Dragon Ball Z, and Gundam Wing, I think you've earned your right to just do whatever.
You can blow the bag, and they continue to do it because after that with Sailor Moon, this is all over a 24-hour period. Sailor Moon for an hour, Powerpuff Girls. Then Dead Zone, then Dragon Ball Z, then Wing again. Run it back. We recycled the whole thing. Triomite, Batman, Mask of the Phantom. I never saw that. I don't know what that is.
That shit was serious. It was like, I think like an ex-lover or some shit. Like, was trying to get his revenge. Like, that was the first time when like the villain reveal was like what? Like, it's a woman. Like, what is she? Because they gave the whole like how he got started, and it's that got like a theatrical release.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Like, I just know.
With the Phantasm, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. The what is it? What was it? The Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah. So was it like them doing Phantom of the Opera, but with no? Okay, got you.
It was they showed the origins. Like I rented that. They showed their origins, and that villain, the Phantom, was. I forgot what they were doing, but Bruce knew who they were. And then they had there's like that special Justice League.
Damn, was that maybe like they were doing what's Ra's al Ghul's daughter? What's that shit?
It wasn't Talia.
Oh, it wasn't Talia?
Because they had Ra's in there and Talia.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They had his whole rogue gallery.
Oh shit.
Like they had Riddler.
Because he thought that was them or something like that, and then like
Firefly was in there too. Like the whole rogues gallery with Clayface. Like, come on. So, but the Phantasm...
Is that Arkham Asylum?
But the animated series had everybody in there.
Right.
Like, the fact that they even did the Two-Face backstory is a bit much. Yeah. But the Phantasm was like, they showed his origins, and then that... I just don't remember that villain. But...
Actually, I can look it up, actually. Because it has... Every one of these, it has a link.
The Unlimited...
I think I sent it to you as well.
The Batman Unlimited episode, I got service in here.
Oh damn! This looks hard.
It was given.
This looks hard.
Yeah, no, I remember it.
Yeah,
no, it got a theatrical release. It was Justice League Unlimited episode where they're in the future, and Terry McGinnis is talking to Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
about like how come me and Bruce share the same DNA, and then she goes on to tell him like, all right, he retired, but she was like, the world still needs the Batman.
Yeah,
and so she takes it upon herself to where she was going to recreate the tragedy that created Batman.
Everybody in it, yeah.
But it didn't happen that way because she hired that villain. Yeah. To do
Phantasm.
That, and then
he got like a hook for a hand.
Yeah. At the last second, they were like, "I'm not doing this. Like, this is too much. I'm gonna traumatize somebody for the sake of the world. Like, nah. Yeah. It's not right. It was already one thing to like take that dude's DNA and then alter it. And then put it back in on so that way it's like, no, this is Bruce Wayne's kid, not yours.
That's
you never seen that episode?
No.
That's a really good Justice League Unlimited episode. Well, like they kind of just closed the gap with DC animated.
So with a lot of that stuff, it was like I was into it, but it was always I would only watch it during broadcast hours, or I would catch it. But when I caught it, I'd be like, yes, I'm invested. But then, like, I just never made unless it was, like, a movie I could rent from, like, the library or whatever. Like, I could never, like, get into it. But then
that one was in theaters. The Freeze one, I think that was definitely on TV.
I remember it being a preview for, like, I don't know if it was straight to DVD or whatever, but it was on TV. And then, yeah. So they did that. Now, with this success, starting July, they were granted an extra hour, so it was 6 blocks now. And I don't. Yeah, so Toonami had literally a quarter of the day.
Yeah, that's when it was loaded up.
And so they opened it up with Sailor Moon, Reboot, Z, Gundam Wing, Tenchi Muyo, and then Batman animated series to close.
I ain't know how to feel. Come home from school, you decompressing, you're like, yeah. What? Wait, all these girls like you?
Yeah.
I never understood Tenchi.
Tenchi and then Tenchi Universe as well.
See, and they
Tenchi
had
in Tokyo.
All 3 of those shows up there, and they didn't tell you the difference between any of them.
Yeah. At all. It didn't matter. You were already hooked. Then they would do some like Z specials. So like obviously I get it. They addicted us to Z, and of course it was so popular. But there's so many breaks. Like, as I'm scrolling, there's, like, weekly breaks where it's just, no, we're just doing Z today. We're just doing Z today. And then, like, one's like, oh, we're doing Moon today because we're doing another special. So, like, they pump those 2 directly into our veins. There's, like, this is where you need to start.
Z was a hit. And then Sailor Moon, it instant hit with women, the female audience. So, anybody,
and then us, too, where it was just, like, I can rock with this. Like,
any medium where you can catch that audience, you want to ride that into the ground.
Yeah. They they did a Batman Superman sometimes. Like they did Batman animated series and Superman animated just to like close it out.
The new Batman Adventures?
No, just this Batman animated series
Gotcha.
and then Superman. I forgot that Superman also had one too.
He did.
Yeah.
That one was even like a mature theme to it. I'm like, I just want to see him punch somebody. I don't want to see relationships build and all this other like.
Well, because I watched like Lois and Clark and shit. Like, my mother would. My mother would like just put that on and be like, "This is Superman." It's like, yeah, but it's just like it's Superman sitting in a suit, like burning his coffee to make it hotter. Like it's just he's just like talking. Being regular. They just got an apartment together. Yeah.
The first episode I remember distinctly from the Superman animated series is Dr. Fate comes in. He makes a cameo. I'm like, well, who the fuck is this? Like it was like Daily Planet. I think a reporter found an artifact, brought it back to Daily Bugle Planet, Daily Planet, and then that opens up a portal to a demon world. And so now the whole building is infested with demons, and I think the guy that was holding it, he's like being possessed by like a Cthulhu type looking demon, and then Clark is like, I don't do this.
So Fate shows. He gets on the horn.
No, so he goes to like the tower where Fate is.
Yeah.
Contacts him. Fate chilling with his wife. He only got the helmet on at all, and so then he was like, all right, okay. And so his wife will get the helmet, and then they go do their thing. So yeah. Damn. Yeah, but it was like, I'm like, damn, who is this? Just a simple blue leotard, gold boots, cape, and a gold helmet.
Yeah.
That was it, so.
When did they change it to black at some point?
Doesn't I know of.
No, okay. Gotcha.
I think it's always been like
it's
blue
always been
gold.
blue. Okay, gotcha. They rocked it out for a bit, and then you started seeing them add a little bit more stuff. Early 2001, they added Outlaw Star, so that started coming. So now they're digging into the more deep cuts of the stuff that's just like it's kind of harder to get this over. Like if they had started with Outlaw Star, I don't know if it would have ever. You know what I mean? Like
I think it would have been fine no matter what. Yeah. Because the thing is, Toonami just had variety. So whether or not you were a sci-fi guy, you were a martial artist, magical girl, shoujo or whatever, Tenchi Muyo, like because after this, it got way weirder. Once DBZ and Sailor Moon left, it was completely it was
we're getting to that weird crossover where it's like, all right, we got Z. But Z, I guess now we got video games out. There's content. Somehow they know it's here. So like, I guess they're just laying it to rest because it's been damn near 5 years of like, it's Z. We had Boo Saga, I think, at this point. No, maybe Cell, mid Cell.
No, it had to have been Boo because they were
Boo, right? Yeah,
I remember specifically it coming back.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we get new episodes. Oh, Gohan got an earring. What is that? What is that?
Nigga old.
What is they in the tournament?
Yeah.
It had to have been Boo because I don't think they aired wrapping any GT.
Yeah, they didn't. They did, but I think it was bad. I can't remember. We'll get there.
I appreciate it.
But it was fun. It was okay. It was just odd to jump into, but then after a while I got it. Then April they introduced Big O. Big O's in there now. Big O had a run for a bit.
Big O was on Toonami?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
5:30. Yeah.
Big O, big.
Another Z-Day marathon here and there. Oh, Card Captor. Card Captor got thrown in there.
Oh, so they was just taking stuff from Kids WB at this point.
Yeah. 2021, they did a Card Captor Z double back-to-back.
Card Captor was dope.
Card Captor was awesome, yeah. Another film lineup where they just show the films. They used to introduce them with these little tech cards. You remember them shits? Like the slate cards? Yeah.
Now, Dragon Ball Z. Later.
Then Batman Beyond was on there.
Okay.
What is this? Oh, 8th MS team. Okay, yeah. So Wing. Zoids. They did Zoids. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Zoids. I'm like, damn.
Zoids is on there. They did Wing and they did Mobile Suit Gundam. So now we're just scrolling. Where's this 02? So they didn't care. Every other week it was something fun, something different. Sometimes they did it around the same. They did a lineup for Batman and Superman animated all day, just to show love.
Because by that point they did the Batman and Superman Adventures.
Yeah.
Well, I think they had them. Or maybe it was just the new Batman Adventures.
Ooh, then we get fun. We get a little fun now.
Cool.
It's July. It's July 3rd, and we find our furry friend Hamtaro.
I was just about to
open us up at 4:00.
As soon as Hamtaro debuted, that's when all of it was fun. That's when it all shifted.
They went Inception with it. They literally did Saturday morning to the end of the day in 2 hours. Because Hamtaro was like, this is just fun. This is light.
Slice of life.
Slice of life. Then Zoids, Batman Beyond. They threw Powerpuff Girls in there for a bit. Then 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Then they rotated out with G Gundam. They're going nuts with it. G Gundam was getting popular. They did like doubles up for that.
G Gundam is a perfect fit for that Toonami plot. Gundam Wing dope, bit much. G Gundam just right to follow Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Then they dropped one of your favorites on there on November 4th, 2002, 5:30, introducing Transformers Armada.
Yo, that was a beautiful time for the Cartoon Network.
Beautiful time.
Because they also had that Masters of the Universe.
And remake. that was the next day, December 2nd to the 6th. They
Armada
did He-Man at 5. Armada at 5:30. Close out with Dragon Ball Z. Tried and true.
It was like, yo, we got mini cons. What do? They unlock new weapons? Yeah. Fucking Megatron. Yes. What did he do? He like attaches mini con, and then the whole tank cannon will come to his stomach, and then he had a fuck nigga bag. But then it would rotate like a Gatling gun. Yeah. I was like, yo, this shit different. Like all Optimus Prime did was fire off lasers. Like, nah, nigga, we got artillery now.
Yes.
Like not because that was like the first that wasn't the first Transformers animated show that I watched. That looked like an anime because Fox Kids had RID, which I like way better. I'm not even going to front.
Now here's a realization that we gotta. Well, this was really cool. So they did Giant Robot Week, so it was all shows based around giant robots.
Well, like 5 different Gundams.
5 different Gundams. But they did 2 days of a certain show and then decided not to do it at a later time.
What was that?
At 4:30, they showed Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Ha!
Twice, and then
who greenlit that?
Replaced it with Robotech. The following.
One of the higher ups kids saw it and they got in trouble. What the fuck is this? What is this?
Episode 1, he's ripping the face off this humanoid robot mech that he sits inside of. He's bleeding, think he lost the fight. Like, no. You went crazy and ripped this thing apart. So that's why we monitoring you right
now. My shit was the Ava opening his mouth.
The mouth.
And it looks like rusted,
human
bloody
teeth inside.
Teeth. Yeah, it just looked different.
They did 2 episodes of that.
I still don't understand that show. I don't know what the hell
maybe put that back in the Adult Swim vault where it belongs. Because that's where
not even aired Time Warner at all. There was
a show called Die Guard. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Die Guard or Die Gunder?
Die Guard. Ooh, this looks dope.
Let me see it.
Ooh, this looks dope. I don't know what that is.
Oh, Giant. I've only seen it in magazines.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was on Toonami.
Well, this was for Giant Robot Week. So, Jesus. Like I said, they got to do whatever they wanted to do. So then Die Guard, Robotech, Z, they had to put... Z was always there. I think they always had to do Z.
Why else am I watching Toonami?
Armada. Then, hey, here we go. March 3rd, 2003, which is probably a day that I watched this episode probably for the first time. 6:00 they aired Yu Yu Hakusho.
By this point, it was already out. Yeah, so I was pretty. Yeah, I was right on that. I'm like, because I seen it in 2001. Yeah,
and then definitely. From mid-March, they would close out the day. So obviously Z is always there, but it was G Gundam, Z, Yu Yu, and then Rurouni Kenshin, and then now we're just hanging. That
was a banger right there. Yeah. Parents didn't know what you was watching.
And you honestly got to see the bump up. You started seeing Z get more of the earlier spot, and then Yu would close it out.
Niggas got jobs. Went from 98 to, what's that, 2000, 2003?
This is 03. Yeah, this is 03.
So that's 5. Yeah. That's 5. So all these teens that graduated high school, you got jobs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might go to work.
About to go to work.
Bump it up. 4 o'clock.
Bump it up. 4
My
o'clock.
shift is at 6.
The shift is at 6. Or I just got home and I'm gonna sleep at 7. I gotta get this right.
All right. What was the last year's? What was the lineup?
All right. Yeah, just to close it out.
Because that's only 03. I think it ended in what 08.
Yeah. Now this is original. So 04. 04 it ended, but then remember they re-released it. They re-released it to start
with like
the
a
new
different time.
And that was when they had Naruto and all that other stuff on it.
Yeah.
But now, so we're in 04, which is the final lineup for the original. This is after they kill Tom, and then I think they bring him back later. And
he had 3 different outfits.
Yeah. And then they had that like weird group aesthetic of Toonami. Remember those like the 3 different robots that like did it? It was like the late version of Toonami.
They were like on wheels, right?
Yeah, they were like on wheels, yeah.
That was the Naruto edition.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one that had Naruto. So yeah, then they closed it out. That last week is in March of 04. Final Toonami weekday lineup was oh yeah, also I was forgetting. In some of those, it wasn't just Z, it was also Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball was in there. I forgot, I was glazing over it, but there was Ball in there. So the final week to cap it all off, they did Dragon Ball, 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and then an episode of GT.
Yep. Fuck everything else, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
As a sign off?
Yeah, that's it. Y'all, you know what you came here for.
And GT? And that was GT. The only time what they showed GT, right?
Yeah. And then I think they maybe tried it in like the newer version, but like briefly. Because I think I remember seeing like 2 or 3.
First time I seen GT was on tape.
Yeah.
I always heard about it, and then I seen it, and I was like, yeah, this is everything that I could possibly ever want. And a new Dragon Ball. So
yep.
Yeah.
And
damn, Toonami?
97 to 04.
Shit, let me curate a block. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Do it now. It's on Adult Swim, so y'all don't even give... Y'all definitely don't care.
Yeah.
I will definitely get those ratings.
But that did it. I mean, it was a weird point in time. Obviously, there were... shout out... Obviously, like... Nickelodeon was doing stuff. All the other guys were doing stuff.
But no anime.
But no anime like that. Not like that.
No anime.
Not a direct source.
Avatar is not an anime. Great show.
Great show.
Great show. It's just animation.
And I can't wait till Saturday every day to figure out if I can watch your Card Captors when you had it, or your
Card Captors.
Yeah.
I missed them.
Or your Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, like I couldn't wait. Fiending, had to get it.
But that was still a time I'm like, what is anime? So
right.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy birthday, Toonami. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, if it wasn't for y'all, I definitely would not be here right now in this very room talking about this shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fanboying out about all of that stuff that I grew up on. So,
yeah.
See you around, Space Cowboy.
What is it? No, is it later?
Yeah, Tom fucking. That's where I get it from. Always.
And Steve Blum.
Yeah, they were like, "Yo, why you always trying to be cool?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, my idols." Yeah, just telling you, just like, all right, so up first, you DBZ fanboys, we got a double back-to-back feature for you. Next following Sailor Moon with some... Let me see if I can do a Tom voice. We got time?
There you go.
We got time here?
We got time? We
got time? Let me see. What was the lineup that he would do?
Do it. I'm gonna lace that lo-fi beat.
What do you like? What do you call everybody? What do you call the audience?
I think it was something space related, like
he would just generalize me and be like guys or whatever. He was
gang
like
or whatever. Yeah.
It was going on, gang. Nothing much here. Same old. Let's give you the rundown real quick. Starting off the list. He would just be like tapping, and then he had the AI assistant there, and or even later on, he'd be like, well, we got double episodes of Naruto back to back. Oh, man. Beautiful. The Tree of Might. No, what it was? Yeah. It was a movie previews because they would bring in my man from they bring in Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
They would bring him in. The world's strongest, Goku, yet again challenged by an old foe. Dr. Gero. They would those cuts. Whoever
we can't handle it.
Whoever did marketing for that. That was That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I'm not even gonna disrespect Steve Bloom and all of that.
Listen.
Let me get more sessions here at Patter and Home. Get my reel ready.
There you go.
And then I'm gonna take all y'all jobs. But as always, follow us on all the Instas, all the socials. We have a link tree. Jump Entertainment. Follow us on Twitch. Podcasts. We'll be back, man. Y'all got us for the summer going into the fall. So
yeah,
enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves.
Shout out Patter and Hum for letting us record here. Doing a thing. Shout out at Patter and Hum.
Patter.
Yeah.
And Hum. Thank y'all so much, man.
Yeah.
Have a good night.